Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Paul Davis and today I'll share with you my top 5 Kemper profiles at the moment. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, so I just looked up when exactly I got the Kemper, and to this date it is exactly 2 years ago I got it. I use this a lot in live situations, in recording situations, and it's really a great thing to have. And I think we've come to the point where the digital amplifiers are really as good sounding as the originals. Of course, the experience in the room is vastly different, so you can't compare it to one directly, but the recorded sound is really, it's amazing. That's why I want to show you my top 5 profiles. At the moment, the profiles I used a lot in my videos, so if you've been watching my channel, chances are probably 100% you've heard the Kemper before. Top 5, number 5. Only gotta say, this list is not in a particular order, except for the last one. Number 1 is definitely my favorite and also most used profile. So number 5 is a profile of a Fender Deluxe Blackface 1969 by End44. And clean, it sounds like this. Just a great basis, also to use with a lot of effects. Yeah, so that's the clean sound. Nothing wrong with that. Number 4, speaking of clean, this is one I use a lot. It's basically my favorite clean profile on the amp. It's a Matchless JJ 3- profile by Brit. So this is a Matchless amp, so it's a more British voiced style sound. And it's just at the edge of breaking up, so it's a wonderful platform as well for pedals. It's very punchy, very direct. It's really good for almost anything, and I especially dig the crispy high end of the sound. Often referred to as chime, by the way. That was with some chorus and delay, all coming from the Kemper amp, by the way. I'm not using different pedals at the moment. Alright, next profile, number 3. And this one is definitely the profile with the highest amount of gain I use. I mostly use this one for blistering leads or for heavy rhythm parts. It's the 3P Plexi and Timmy by, again, Brit. This is a paid one, but if you spend so much money on this amp, why not throw in a few extra bucks to make it sound great instead of just good. This is it. So with a lot of delay, because this is my main lead sound for live, but it also sounds good for heavy rhythm guitars. Probably I could use my Les Paul for this, but Yeah. So sometimes I just have to hit the amp harder. So that's why I use a pure booster in front of the amp to make it louder. More gain. Yeah, rock and roll. So number 2 is again a pretty high gain sound. It's called Marshall Rock Minus, and again by Michael Britt. So this is way more transparent than the previous one, and I use this one for rhythm rock sounds mostly, or low gainy lead sounds, because this one punches through the mix a little bit better. Great for classic rock sounds. And I tweak those profiles always just a little bit, often to make them sit in the mix a little bit better, because there's not a lot low end to this sound. Maybe if you listen to it solo, you would probably dial in a little bit more bass to make it a little bit more full, but often in band settings it's best to just cut the low end a little bit. Cool, great sound. And now for number 1, my favorite profile of all times. The reason why I need the Kemper. And it's again a Michael Britt profile, and it's called Matchless SC30 R2-. It's a profile of a Matchless SC30 amp, which is basically a Vox style AC30 like sound, but this one is really cranked and it sounds amazing. It is just the perfect amount of gain for basically anything, and if you want to dial back your volume just a little bit, and dial up the volume again. So you really have to be a fan of this sound to like it. I really love the chime, the high sparkle in top. I would kill for a sound like this, but I think when you've got the real amp set in front of you, dialed in like this, you're gonna be deaf in like a few seconds, because this sounds so loud in real life. I once owned a Vox AC30, a hand-wired version, and I probably could have get the sound close to this out of it, but it was just so loud. And one thing I really hate is extremely loud amps. I don't feel comfortable playing loud amps. Maybe it's a generation thing. Okay. very good sound. So yeah, those are my top 5 profiles at the moment. Of course I use different profiles, but these ones are the one I go to most often. Anyways, I hope this video will give you some answers regarding the Kemper questions you've got. Yeah, cheers, have a wonderful day. See you next time, bye.